This is the absolute foundation of the craft, vegetable tanned leather, specifically a double shoulder because of its density and lack of defects. Unlike the chrome-tanned leather you find in cheap belts or bags, veg-tanned is the only type that will accept tooling, meaning you can stamp designs into it, and it will darken beautifully with age and sunlight. You want to start with a thickness of 5 to 6 ounces, which is roughly 1/8 of an inch thick. It's stiff enough to hold a shape, but soft enough to hand sew, without breaking your thumbs. Expect to pay between $8 and $12 per square foot for decent grade material. The biggest mistake beginners make here is buying craft packs, or scraps that are full of ticks and bite marks. Buy a full double shoulder or a side to ensure you get large, usable areas of consistent grain. The swivel knife is the tool that defines leather artistry. It's used to cut the outline of your design into the leather before you start stamping. A cheap knife will wobble, dig too deep, or tear the grain, ruining your project instantly, which is why you want a Barry King signature or similar quality tool. It features a barrel that rotates in your fingertips, allowing you to make fluid, curving lines without twisting your wrist, essentially acting like a pen that cuts instead of writing. You're looking at a price range of roughly $60 to $100, which feels steep, but these hold their edge for years if treated well. When buying, specifically look for a saddle blade rather than a flat blade. The concave U-shape of the saddle blade naturally pulls out leather shavings as you cut, preventing the tool from clogging up and dragging. Nothing screams homemade quite like sharp, square corners, which is why the number 2 edge beveler is the tool that separates hobbyists from craftspeople. It is essentially a small curved blade that shaves the sharp 90-degree corners off your leather edges, leaving a rounded, professional slope. Using a number 2 size refers to the radius of the cut, small enough for wallets and card holders, but large enough to look substantial on belts. You can find decent Japanese imports like Kaya Chanel for around $20. Do not make the mistake of buying the cheap, all-in-one edge tools that look like a Swiss Army knife. The guards on those are too wide to see where you are cutting. Get a dedicated, fixed-blade beveler where the handle is set back from the cutting edge, as this gives you the visibility you need to follow your line perfectly. The biggest rookie mistake is overcasing your leather, which means getting it too wet before tooling. If the leather is soaking wet or dark brown, the tool impressions will just blow out the fibers instead of creating a crisp, 3D design. The leather should be cool to the touch and light brown, almost like a dry sponge, not sopping wet. Another massive error is dyeing the leather before finishing your edges. If you put edge paint on after you dye the main surface, the chemicals often bleed into each other and look messy. Always dye your background first, and let it cure completely before you even think about burnishing your edges. Finally, stop throwing your scrap leather away. Even the smallest triangular offcuts are perfect for testing your dye shades or practicing your swivel knife pressure before you touch your actual project. Leatherworking is a slow, deliberate process, but but getting the right gear makes that patience feel like a meditation rather than a struggle. With these 5 items and a little practice, you can go from a raw hide to a handmade heirloom that will outlast you. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button because I cover gear for every hobby you can think of, and check the description for those specific links I promised. Start there, and you won't regret it.